Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply. This video is to bring you a closer look at the Stanley part number B45090. This is a cylinder retainer assembly. This is used in conjunction with the cylinder retainer to be able to secure the mortise cylinders inside of the lock case. A mortise cylinder or mortise cylinders. Why someone would be purchasing this could have been vandalism, I suppose. You know, if you put a wrench on the cylinder and wrenched it off, you would destroy the cylinder, but you're probably going to damage part of the lock case as well. And the cylinder retainer assembly and the cylinder retainer, which is the C44144, is probably damaged. Why this client's buying this, I don't know. But they're buying 2 of each. Overall length of the pin is about 1 3/8 inches. Overall height of the guide, well, actually the width. The height, I suppose. You know, when you have it in your lock case, it's going to look like this in the edge of your door. Okay, that dimension, and just to provide you some dimensions, looks like it's about 13/16 by about 1/2 inch. Now, looking at this, just holding it in my hand doesn't do a lot of help. Let's switch to the screen view where we can take a look at the parts drawing for this item. Okay, so here's the item that we're looking at. Not a lot to see here, and by the time you're seeing this video, there will be a link below it to this parts drawing. And we can get to the manufacturer's page from here, but the service manual for Best is not on the Stanley page. And I am aware that there is some sort of corporate realignment of brand names and what company is called what. You know, I don't know. It's forever evolving with all of these multinational, multi-billion-dollar corporations. But if you get to manufacturers and then get to the Best page, it's all alphabetical. Just Control F and look for Best. Best Access. Then you're going to look for a document called Service Manual. Before we do that, take your part number and copy that. You'll want to copy it so that when the Service Manual comes up, we're going to fire up that document. Here it is, Service Manual. Click on that and then do a find function on your keyboard. You can see that it's a 1,358-page document. So search for that, Control F, and then hit Enter. And it's going to search for the entire document for all of the instances of the cylinder retainer assembly. Shows up on 21 pages. It's part number 10 of this mortise lock case. This A-function mortise lock case. Right there's good old part number 10. Cylinder retainer assembly. That's going to be the gizmo that's going to hold your cylinders in. And again, if someone, you know, attempted to damage the lock, you know, forcibly removing a cylinder, yeah, I could see that that's probably going to get tweaked a little bit, is the bottom line. But you can go through the rest of the document and find all of the other instances of where it shows up, and it really will just do so as the function of the mortise case changes. So will the drawing. So you're going to see it in many different mortise function cases as well. Okay, this document is incredibly helpful because it goes over all things Best related. Best is a company that must be on the doorstep, on the threshold of being 100 years old at this point. In fact, it was Frank Best, the founder of Best, who invented the small format interchangeable core cylinder that we all know and love today. Maybe not all of us, but people who in the locksmithing industry know and love it, I would imagine. That original patent isn't the exact same cylinder that ultimately became the there we go, maybe. Let's see. Frank Best patent. This is not the original patent, that's for sure. That's from 1965. We're looking for one that's a lot older. So you can click on you know, the inventor's name and group by I'm just looking for one that has a much older date on it. 1920. No, this may be it. Yeah, I believe that this is it, or it's a derivative of the original. And what they were doing here was, oh yeah, this is not the original because the control lug is here, but the concept of these balls was a. So before we get to that, you can see that you have two shear lines here. There's a shear line here on this cylinder. Okay, you're going to have another shear line for the control lug, and we're not seeing it, of course, in this view. But that control lug will have another shear line. The purpose of the balls was to allow the key to insert and come out of the cylinder with less friction, less wear and tear, and that was because I believe the material science of the key blanks and the tumblers was not what we enjoy today. What I mean is the tumblers may have been of what they call German silver or nickel silver, but that key blank may have been brass. So those balls really reduced the amount of friction necessary. But the earlier patent showed the key being removed by a single step, which would have then satisfied the control shear line, allowing you to work that cylinder to remove it. All right, 1921. That's definitely not it. Not even sure what that is. Well, okay, so anyway, we're not going to find it, but those last two patents were obviously tools that he invented to work on his invention itself. So the name Best is utterly synonymous with small format interchangeable core, cloned, copied, for the last several decades, several decades. And it's because of Frank Best and the Best Lock Company that we have the interchangeable core concept. Let's switch up this video to the camera and wrap it up. In conclusion, it would be accurate to say that we are certainly not a really huge Best account because of how they bring their product to market. And unfortunately, I wish that I did a lot more business with them because I'm a true believer in the quality of their locks. They're grade 1 cylindrical, they're mortise locks. The fact that they will teach you how to pin small format interchangeable core with documentation that they freely publish is incredible. I learned how to pin interchangeable core in the very early 1990s, forgot how to do it, needed to refresh my memory, right to the Best paperwork. I've called the Best factory a number of times and asked for help. Just perfect. I've emailed their technical support department countless times. Perfect response every single time. And that's really what it takes to have a quality product, because when you study the lock lines, if you were to study the different lock lines that exist, let's just say high security cylinders, in my opinion, it's absolute warfare that's going on, because these companies need to continue to innovate and leapfrog each other to keep market share. And in this day and age that we live in now, with the utter homogenization of, you can get cores from Best that will fit in Schlage locks. You can get cores from Schlage with their Primus XP SL technology that will fit right into a small format core. It's brutal, the way that they have to compete against each other. And what goes along with that, if you're not putting on the field your best technical support, I don't think you're going to last. And I say that because I get exceptional technical support from all of these people. Best does a great job of it, and it's not because they have to. They're just darn good at it, as are other companies. But Best is a notable mention in the they're just darn good at it department. Any questions on the Best cylinder retainer? This is their part number B45090, or any other Best product. Please feel free to reach out to us. And thank you.